craziest, but probably the funnest time of the year in high school basketball. These two programs have been the cream of the crop in the girls' city league here in Boston.
A couple of things to play here. Now we got two interesting teams.
Soars again for the two-handed flush. Kobe Upchurch out on the break. She gets the basket. There's the foul. Going in for another three.
Over him. Once he gets a step in the lane, he can make it all the way to the hoop.
The Tech Boston Bears are the 2018 Boston City champions. Hello, Boston, and welcome to the high school basketball version of March Madness as we are at Madison Park High School in Roxbury for a boys North Division 4 first-round matchup between the Bishop Fenwick Crusaders and the Snowden Cougars. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Flaherty, joined by my partner, as always, Alan Platt. And Alan, so begins the craziness of the MIAA state tournament. This is a lot of fun for high school basketball here in Massachusetts.
No doubt. Just like you mentioned, March Madness, high school version here up in New England, and teams from all over. The one thing that coaches like and dislike about the tournament is you never know until a couple of days before it starts who you're matched up with.
That's right.
Virtually no chance for any scouting at all. You just have to pretty much hone what you do your best and hope that that works against whoever your opponent is. Same situation tonight. We got a Catholic Conference team coming up the highway to play against a Boston team in Snowden.
That's right. Boston City League versus the Catholic Central Conference. Now tonight you get the Bishop Fenwick Crusaders, who had a really tough year last year, just 3 wins, but here in the third season of head coach Kevin Moran, their senior Nick Pignoni's really having a nice year. He's their leading scorer tonight. He's a player we got to look out for.
He's a scorer. He'll be number 23 in black and scores from inside and out, mainly an outside jump shooter. So we'll see what Snowden does in terms of defending him, because they know just from stats that he's the guy you got to stop in order to really hold up their offense.
That's right. Just about 33 points just a little over a week ago for Pignoni. Meanwhile, on the other side for Snowden, and everybody talks about how there's not a lot of height in the city of Boston. Well, there's height in the city of Boston. It's just all on one team. It's on Snowden. Right. But one of their best players is Javi Ellis. He's a stretch 4 for this Snowden team.
Stretch is the right word in quotations because he's long, good hands. Defensively, you think of the possibilities of him. A high school kid, still going to grow a little more, but you're right. He's going to be a key defender for them. I'm interested to see what they actually do in the half-court defense, because they're going to have to be able to get out, close out on these shooters for Bishop Fenwick, and it's going to be a chess match both ways for coaches.
No question. You talk about Ellis as being one of the very tall players. Not the tallest player on Snowden. You'll see him, Ty Jones,
bigger than him. Yeah,
coming up in just a little bit, but a lot of size for this Snowden team, no question, and we'll see a lot of that size here tonight. Now, for more on this game, we're going to go to our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky, who's got more on it for us. Seth, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. Well, neither team has made it deep into the state tournament in recent years. Both teams are very excited to be here in this specific gym. On the Snowden side, a lot of the guys have grown up in Roxbury and Dorchester, so they're used to playing at this gym here at Madison Park, either over the summer or in rec leagues. And obviously they play Madison Park every other year here at Madison Park during Boston City League. So Paul Rogers is very confident that his team will feel very much at home. On the opposite side, Kevin Moran and Bishop Fenwick, they haven't been to the state tournament since 2014, but not only is there a large contingent that made its way here all the way from Peabody, but he and his staff have a lot of experience. Moran was very successful at St. Mary's of Lynn, where he won a state title back in 2012, made it to the state tournament in 7 of 9 years, and 3 of his former St. Mary's of Lynn players are on his coaching staff this year. So a lot of playoff experience, a lot of experience to get this team ready for their first tournament game since 2014. Guys, take it away.
Thanks very much, Seth. And Coach Moran, no stranger to the state tournament. As Seth mentioned, won the state title with St. Mary's back in 2012, but because Bishop Fenwick hasn't been here since 2014, none of his players have played in the state tournament. So this is all new for them.
They were little kids watching the bigger kids win that tournament, title, so now they want to take a bite of their turn here. Also, like you mentioned, they had a bad year last year, but they had a couple of key injuries to players who are now playing this year. So that we'll get that and highlight through the course of the game, because I get the feeling that in an up-and-down game, both teams are going to want to use their benches and maybe go deeper into the bench than you usually see in a tournament game.
That's right. Snowden has a lot of good depth, so we'll see if Coach Rogers can use that depth tonight here in the first round of the Boys North Division 4 sectional. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back from the opening tap here from the Matadome at Madison Park High School, right after these words. Don't go away.
Foster safety. Foster hope. Foster joy. Foster curiosity. Foster support. Become a foster parent, because every parent makes a difference. Foster, Massachusetts.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
First time I tried Vicodin, and it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Welcome back to Madison Park High School in Roxbury for the first round of the Boys North Division 4 section. As tonight we got the Bishop Fenwick Crusaders taking on the Snowden Cougars. We got the starters for you. For Bishop Fenwick, it's Ramos, the freshman, Pignoni, Stewart, Andrews, and Loescher. Meanwhile, for the Snowden Cougars, it's Kaplan, Samuels, Kaba, Ellis, and Jones. You see Coach Rogers in the left of your screen there in his 7th season, I believe, as the head coach of Snowden's. Done a nice job. They made the state tournament 5 out of the last 7 years. And Snowden, one of those teams, we don't get to cover them as often. They have sort of a smaller gym and kind of get bounced around a little bit gym-wise. But they've been pretty consistently a solid team in the city.
They have, and unfortunately, in their case, they've sort of been overlooked or overshadowed by some of the other bigger programs like Brighton's last few years. And
New Mission.
Exactly. So, but like you said, they do have something that some of those other schools don't have this year. They have a lot of size. And
that's right.
Again, depends on how the game flows as to how much of it you're going to see them use today.
That's Ty Jones. You talk about size. Coach said that he was about 6'8". I guess it depends on if he got a haircut or not. But
what kind of sneakers you got on, right?
Definitely big would be the operative word for Ty. Snowden controls the opening tap. We're underway here in the first round of the North Division 4 sectionals.
2-3 zone coming out for Bishop Fenwick.
Trying to feed it inside to the big fella. Jones with the hook shot. No good. And the rebound comes down to the freshman Ramos. There's Stewart. Dumps it down inside and swatted away by Javi Ellis.
They toss about him in the open. That's why he got those long, very deceiving, quick moves to go along with that length of his.
Ellis, top of the key. That shot was deflected. Jones there to put it back up and in.
Yeah, I think Pignoni was on the block of the Ellis shot, but like you said, the big fella inside, good hands.
Ramos, good feed inside to Stewart, couldn't finish. Rebound comes down to Kaplan.
Both teams trying to be patient, but there's just a whole lot of adrenaline flying around there.
Jones again inside, and certainly a tough matchup for any high school player.
They're starting out, Bishop Fenwick starting out in the 2-3 to be able to try double Jones, but his first 2 times down, he moves pretty well. He's created 2 good shots for himself.
Pignoni still hasn't gotten a good look yet, but he's fouled at the top of the key by William Samuels.
Yeah, Samuels just a little overzealous that time, looking for a steal.
Good feed inside to Ramos, but he couldn't finish the layup.
I think Ramos thought Jones was going to step over. He just overshot it. Big fella.
That
Nice
time
block.
Jones was stuffed, but they're going to call a foul. It looks pretty clean. But Ty Jones going to get 2 free throws. Coach Moran not happy about that one.
Yeah, when he went up, it looked like he didn't really jump that one. First 2 hoops he got, he jumped. That time he didn't really, just sort of his tiptoes. Let's see the action. You see how you get hit in the forearm. Yeah. So nice to see a big fella off to a good start like this. First 2 hoops and makes a free throw.
And it's Coach Paul Rogers.
Yep.
Mentioned how Ty, despite his size, very soft hands, pretty good free throw shooter. Of course, I jinxed him on that second one.
Well, you know, it's like you talk about Snowden, and as you mentioned, we haven't had them on our telecast much, but they've like 5 out of 7 years. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Stewart unable to hit the 3, gets his own rebound, but then it's taken away by Samuels.
Almost out of bounds as Samuels couldn't corral it.
Substitution for Fenwick as number 44, Nate Andrews, the senior, comes in.
Bringing a little more height in. Right, we might see them change that half-court defense against Jones. Now Snowden's in a 2-3 zone.
Pignoni unable to hit that one. Here comes Ellis out on the break. Ellis gets fouled inside.
He was looking to dunk, Pat.
Yeah, he was looking to take
he
off.
Definitely was. Watch him get that steps right in order, and that's a good block on one end, but the other side was a hit. Seeing these long guys, we say it all year, when they have that kind of length, it's deceiving how quickly they're getting down court and how much floor space they're taking up with each step. That's the case with Ellis.
Ellis unable to hit the first. Ellis just a junior.
Coach Moran, you know he's hoping Ellis is going to fill out a little bit over the summer. Look forward to a really big senior year.
Ellis hits the second, so 6-0 start here for Snowden. Fenwick still looking for their first basket. And Pignoni sails that one over the head of Loescher.
See, sometimes the length of a team will force you to just try to put a little more height on your passes. That was the case there, as he did have a wide open teammate on the baseline.
Nice inside to Jones again off the feed from Kaplan.
Kaplan did an excellent job. He actually created some space for himself. He could have taken a layup, but instead he knew Jones was hanging around in the key.
Good swing to Stewart. And he buries the first field goal for Fenwick.
Deshaun, he was one of the players who was hurt last year.
That's right.
And so he barely played at all. So Fenwick was really happy to see him come back this year. They'll go a lot to him when Pignoni is being covered well.
Feed inside to Ellis, who couldn't squeeze it home.
Block shot.
Kaba going after the rebound. Now it's Ellis again.
Blocked again. I tell you, this not quite as tall, the Fenwick team, but they're defensively very aggressive.
Off the up fake. Getting fouled on his way to the rim is Andrews, so he'll get 2 free throws.
Yeah, you called it right, Pat. The up fake made the play. As soon as you get that head and shoulders fake right by Jones. Watch Jones. Fell for the up fake. forced his teammate to come across and commit the foul. It's going to be on Kaba. Now, you're talking about evenly matched teams, Pat, and you don't always see this in the first round of the tournament, but you have one 12-8 team against a 12-6 team. You can't get much closer than that.
You mentioned that Fenwick did not make the tournament last season, just 3 wins overall. Snowden did make the tournament, had the same record, 12-6.
They got bumped early, yeah.
2 for 2 from the line is Andrews. Ellis for 3 from the corner. Couldn't find the rim.
We saw Fenwick change their defense that time down. Snowden trying to take advantage of it.
Stewart hits that one off the back iron. Ellis quickly up to Kaplan.
Nice pass.
Unable to finish the layup. Put back there from Samuel.
Talked about Pignoni with the ball right now. 33 points in the last game. Hasn't gotten a shot yet. Here we are 5 minutes into the first quarter. I'm sorry, has 1 shot so far.
Substitution for Snowden as Carlos Ortiz checks into the game, gives Kaba a breather. Coach Rogers likes what he sees out of Ortiz, who is just a sophomore this season. Stewart. Nice drive from Stewart, but couldn't finish over the top.
That was just bad luck on that one. Beautiful move.
Samuels on the other end, short with the floater, gets his own rebound and gets fouled inside.
Snowden, even with their size, would like it to be an up and down game. They do have the players, and Coach Moran knows he does have the players to make it a quicker paced game. Especially when Jones, the big fella, is taking a breather.
Samuels knocks down the first. Right now, Snowden with a 14-5 rebounding advantage. I mean, when you see them warming up, you'd expect that to happen.
When I walked in, I knew they had a couple of big fellas, but when they were warming up, it looked like they had
like 5.
Right, I'm telling you. But that's, we always say how there's so many different ways to win in basketball. That's what makes the game so intriguing.
I mean, you look at the team who's been the best in the city for the last 2 seasons, Tech Boston. They only have one kid that's 6'2" or bigger.
Yeah, very little size.
Ramos, good skip cast to Lozier. Good swing to Pignoni. Tough finish inside from Pignoni.
Good job. Get him started. We always talk about how when your top scorer has been silent, when he can finally get his first hoop, the rest of the team sort of picks things up.
Back to a 4-point lead for Snowden. Good duck down pass, but it was a little far ahead of Victor Arundel.
The right idea, though, is
I'm going to say that stays with Snowden.
Yeah, Ellis is trying to get it inside.
Inside to Ortiz. It's blocked by Lozier. Ramos quickly up to Pignoni, who finishes the layup. Fenwick cuts it down to a 2-point lead.
First fast break hoop for Fenwick.
Sloppy pass from Ortiz.
Yeah, when Fenwick stays in this 2-3, Snow's going to be, like you said, going to have to be very careful with their passes.
Ellis saves it right to Ramos.
Chance to tie for Fenwick.
Pignoni up the up fake. Scores off the window. Ties it up at 11, and Snowden.
Actually, I think Fenwick took the timeout. Somewhere.
Well, Ellis lost a shoe.
Wow.
So footwear timeout, Pignoni.
Good drag step to give him a little space to use the backboard. One of those players who shoots from different angles. You can see why he's a high scorer, because he's not worried about not making the outside shots yet. But look at that. So you drag that right foot, get him past the defender. Great defense inside. They collapse just at the right time.
Another turnover by Snowden. Fenwick with their first chance to take the lead here in the first quarter. Stewart on the drive. He's pinned by Ellis. Ortiz lost it on the way up, got it back. Couldn't get it to go. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter, tied up at 11.
Nice cut.
Pignoni gets stuffed off the backdoor feed, but that's going to stay with the Crusaders.
Watch the drive, tries an up fake, but Ellis will stay there with his height.
Pignoni squeezes it home off the inbound.
Weak side cut again. Caught Samuels looking the other way.
First lead of the first quarter for the Fenwick Crusaders.
We'll see the second quarter. We're going to see Snowden come back with the big fella Jones.
Samuels with the runner, no good. That goes out of bounds. Back to Fenwick, so they'll have a chance for the final shot of the quarter.
Yeah, the offensive set in the half court for Snowden is just not nearly as smooth without Jones out there. The straight man-to-man is the Fenwick looks for the last shot. It's going to be a hold. A bumping foul.
Hand check there on Kaplan. Ten seconds left here in the first quarter. Turnover that time by Fenwick. Kaplan then gets whistled for the travel because he didn't see Ramos until the last second.
He's trying to look down quick because he had a couple of teammates in the front court, but still 5 seconds to go for a shot.
Four seconds left. We'll see if Fenwick can get a shot off before the end of the first quarter. It's Andrews with it in the corner.
Gonzalez.
Buries it. Gonzalez knocking down the trifecta.
You like seeing that at the buzzer time, right? So you start out being down by, what, 6 points? They end up the quarter up by 5.
Heck of a run there from Fenwick. 7-0 run total. 11-0 run, excuse me.
Oh, yeah, Gonzalez makes it 11.
Capped off by the Gonzalez 3. 5-point lead for Fenwick. We'll be right back with the second quarter here on Game of the Week.
Green hat, red hat, oops. Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt, oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants, oops.
Welcome back to Madison Park High School in Roxbury for the boys North Division 4 first round of the sectionals. And folks, if you want to follow us on social media, go to facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. A lot of good stuff up there, including the city championships we just posted. You can also follow us on Twitter @BostonCityTV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. Fenway starts off the second quarter with the basketball and a 5-point lead after hitting that 3 by Gonzalez. Stewart now for 3, and he's way off of that one. Rebound and put back from Gonzalez. No good, but he'll go to the free throw line.
Nice quick hands inside as Ortiz got caught sort of flat-footed. Watch the shot. Gonzalez picks up the rebound here, and Ortiz just a little off balance. In this North sectional, another Boston team, Fenway, is on the other side. They actually have a bye because they're the 4th seed. They'll be playing in the second round. So here with first round with Snowden.
That'll be an interesting matchup if these two teams could make it to the sectional finals.
It really would be.
Jones there for the putback, couldn't put it back up and in. Ellis also there. And Javi is going to get a couple of more free throws.
Yeah, Pat, you mentioned the rebounding edge. Do you see one offensive rebound there? That's the second one that we had Ellis getting. He'll get to the free throw line. Yeah, once Jones comes back in the game, the offensive rebounding is a huge advantage for Snowden.
Ellis is able to rattle home the first. Yeah, that breaks a 12-0 run from Fenwick.
I know Coach Moran's glad to see that free throw go down. They weren't doing too well in the first quarter with the free throws.
And Coach Rogers mentioned that's been sort of their Achilles heel for most of this season.
It's one of those things you can't explain. You know the players all practice as much as possible. They seem to have good strokes at the foul line, just don't have them going down. Right now they're at 50%.
Gonzalez another three. That one off the back iron. Jones with the rebound for Snowden. Jones now with 7 rebounds for the Cougars. Ellis going baseline. Gets blocked inside by Andrews.
That was a block, snatch, and catch.
All in one motion. Andrews now with 3 blocks here in the first half. Ramos can't hit it from the elbow. Here comes Samuels. Up to Ellis. And Javi gets it poked away.
Good defense again by the guards from Bishop Fenwick. Oh, good look, just too much on it.
Yeah, Pignoni looking for Andrews inside.
Like a quarterback that throws a bullet pass from 5 yards away, right? Right idea, because the Fenwick kids are running the lanes now. Any turnover, they're flying on the wings. Snowden's got to go back to having Ty Jones inside. Have him post up and make Fenwick double him.
Samuels nowhere to go with it. Tries a runner and gets it to go.
Yeah. Little out of control, but was able to set himself right before he went into the air for the shot.
Cuts the Fenwick lead down to 3 with just over 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter.
A half-court press going now for Snowden.
Pignoni no good on the 3. Jones with the rebound. Kaplan gets his own rebound off the miss. Samuels tries for a triple.
It's the second air ball from that same corner for Snowden. Good patience by Fenwick.
Pignoni couldn't squeeze it in underneath Jones. Here comes Kaplan.
Good runner.
Samuels hits that jumper.
He actually, that's 2 in a row for him. He was trying for the exact same running shot. That time the defense stopped him, so he just stopped for the quick set shot.
That cuts it back down to a 1-point lead for Fenwick. Here's another look at the Samuels jumper.
You watch this. He makes this that right-hand drive. There's the defense comes up. A little up fake. Nice finish. So,
Samuel's not often the leading scorer, but he certainly has the ability to do so. Our sideline reporter, Seth Olrensky's got an update for us. Seth, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. After a really strong start, Snowden went ice cold towards the end of that first quarter, and a big part of it, according to Paul Rogers, was the fact that they got passive. They weren't penetrating. They were settling to just pass the ball around, take some jump shots. He really encouraged his team to be a lot more aggressive, and we've seen that over the last couple minutes. Penetration is the key here in the second quarter, especially getting their bigs some touches and some second chances, which they weren't getting late in that first quarter. Guys?
Thanks very much, Seth. And as you mentioned, Alan, they got to get it into the big fella to sort of get the offense going.
Oh, definitely. Whenever Ty Jones is in there, he's going to be a very high percentage shot. It'll be within 5 feet of the hoop. With that size of his, like what you say, they think he's about 6'8".
Just about.
In high school, and he has a big body. So it's not like he's a string bean.
Yeah, I mean, he's built like a left tackle.
So he's and he got good hands. Started the game up with the first 5 points.
1-point lead here for Fenwick. Skip pass to Pignoni. He's defeated inside to Stewart. Now back out to Ramos for three. Andrews no good on the putback. Stewart finishes off.
That's good work by Stewart. Stayed on that weak side, kept the ball up, away from the shot blockers. So we're seeing that 2-3 zone now slide down to the foul line to take that entry pass away from try to get the ball to Jones.
Ortiz going baseline, couldn't get it to fall, but he's going to get 2 free throws.
Slight adjustment we see Fenwick make. So they started out in a regular 2-3, but now they're doing what they can to prevent those entry passes. You see a nice baseline drive. Little left-handed flick. You mentioned the foul shots, Pat, and at some point that's going to be a key part of this game. Here we are seeing Snowden and White struggling here in the first half. And the unfortunate thing, and Paul Rogers, as coach, knows that once it gets into the heads of the players, that's the worst thing possible, because then you go to the free throw line thinking every single time you go. Another 1 out of 2 again.
Yeah, Ortiz hits the second. When Snowden played Boston English earlier in the season, they lost by 1. They missed 14. Check that. They missed 18 free throws against Boston English. Then they lost to Fenway by 7. A couple of weeks ago, they missed 14 free throws in that game.
We're talking about losing 2 tight games, missing 32 free throws.
Against 2 good teams. I mean, English and Fenway both in the tournament.
So obviously, they were close games. You kept them close, but tough ways to lose.
Samuels back to Jones
Good job
inside.
That's what I'm saying. He got good hands. Ty has really good hands for as big as he is. Back to a tie game.
Stewart, corner 3, no good off the back rim. Ellis coming away with the rebound. Samuels.
Same right-hand drive.
Lays it down to Jones.
Yeah. Good unselfish play. Good unselfish play by Samuels. He could have just as easily laid that up himself. Instead, the big fella ran the floor. You got to reward him.
First lead for Snowden since a couple of minutes to go in the first quarter. Yoni still can't knock down that first triple. Thrown away by Stewart. Snowden in the middle of a 10-2 run here with under 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Ramos stops and pops. Can't hit that one. Andrews there, and he gets fouled. He'll get 2 from the charity strike.
Yeah, foul's gonna be on Ellis. Javi a little too aggressive on that block shot. Watch it again, opposite side, good rebound action. Javi missed it through his hands and then coming back. Yeah, I like the energy so far. I mean, it's a first round tournament game. Both teams definitely, they appear they practiced hard because they're running their sets, they get what they want. A lot of the shots just aren't going down. Got
Andrews stepped on the free throw line. He was over the line when he shot it.
I'm not sure if he was off balance or what. He just stepped over.
So he only gets one of those free throws, so just a 1-point lead now for Snowden. 2.5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Ellis trying for 3.
I tell you, that's 3 air balls
that corner.
From the same spot. That deep corner.
Yoni stops and pops, can't hit it off the window.
Pull up.
And Coach Rogers wants to take a timeout here. 2:10 left to go before halftime. 1-point lead for the Cougars. And like you mentioned, this Jones went
match is going back and forth. Well, yeah, that's why Jones was in. I think the issue is that probably his stamina and him up and down the floor. But watch it. This is the one that Samuels could have laid up himself. Instead, he saw his big teammate Jones, hard to miss him. So he saw him right behind him. Nice behind the back flip. Always, coaches will tell you, if our big fella, biggest guy on the team, is going to rebound on the defensive end, then run the floor on offense, you've got to, anytime you have, don't force the ball to him, but whenever you can reward him, like in a case like that, an easy drop-down pass, do it, and he'll run all day. He'll run all day.
If he knows he's going to get a chance.
And he won't even ask for a sub.
That's right.
just give me some water during timeouts. That's all I need.
Right now, Ty Jones with 11 points and 10 rebounds already. We're just a couple of minutes away from halftime, so you can see how important he is to this
And he's
Cougars
staying out of
team.
foul trouble.
That's right.
And that's probably the best stat for him as far as Paul Rogers is concerned, because you know he's going to score some points. He's going to get some rebounds because he has good timing. He's a veteran player. But the key is keep him out of foul trouble.
Coming out of the timeout, Snowden with the basketball in a 1-point lead.
Now we're seeing Fenwick doing a little trapping in the corners.
Kaplan corner or elbow jumper no good. Rebound comes down to Stewart. Stewart almost had a pass to himself, and now it's Pignoni back to Stewart. Good swing. Andrews on the drive.
Good job. Again, same head and shoulders fake. Again, caught Ty Jones in between steps.
Lead goes back to Fenwick.
Yeah, Snowden can get the ball inside to Jones. They have to be patient. There you go. As you see, it's going to be.
I think they're going to call an offensive foul on Ty Jones.
On Jones. Looked like he had the position, too. Yeah, it didn't look like he needed to do anything. Just stepped back, stepped to the hoop.
You see Coach Kevin Moran, now in his 3rd season at Bishop Fenwick.
Pignoni asking for a pick.
Pignoni still can't hit that 3.
Well, one of his teammates was supposed to come give him a pick, which would have made a cleaner shot for him.
Under a minute to go here in the 2nd quarter. Ellis, deep 3. Unable to hit that one. And Coach Moran wants a timeout. 45 seconds left to go before halftime. Doesn't want to relinquish this 1-point lead.
I think both coaches, we've seen each coach, saw Moran take an offensive timeout the last time down. Both coaches, I think at halftime they'll tell the kids, happy with the defensive effort, but on offense, few forced shots at the wrong time. You got to have a little more patience. And so right now, they're going to come out here and run whatever their favorite play for the season is. That's what they're going to run right now, regardless of who's out there defensively for Snowden. Because you go with what you know to do. Might be a shot for Pignoni, or it might be him as a decoy, or him as the passer. Because they've had some nice weak side cuts that have gotten them some layups. Then that play twice where Jones for Snowden defensively has gotten beaten on the baseline because he got faked with the up head and shoulders fake, and so there's a couple of possibilities. Like you said, Pignoni, if he's a 3-point shooter, gotta be if he's scoring 33 points, right?
That's right.
So
that's right.
At some point, the last time down, he asked for a pick at the top of the key, and one of his teammates came out but never set the pick.
That's right.
So maybe the timeout is, listen, set the pick correctly. Let's get our guy an open shot.
Yeah, he's shot 4 or 5 of them so far. Hasn't been able to knock one down just yet. He just airmailed that pass. Those type of passes, you do see that the length from Snowden get in the heads of this Fenwick team.
I mean, for a coach, that's a killer to come out of the timeout and have an unforced turnover.
30 seconds left before halftime. Ellis gets the pass deflected. Ortiz still with it. Samuels
Good job
now.
by Samuels to keep it.
Samuels all the way to the hoop.
He's been something going to the basket.
Lead seesaws back to Snowden. 7 seconds left. Reverse lay-in doesn't fall for Stewart. Ortiz got an open lane. Gets it poked away just before the buzzer.
Good steal that time by Romans to prevent a possible layup.
So we're at the half here at Madison Park High School as the Snowden Cougars with a 1-point lead over the Bishop Fenwick Crusaders.
Well played first half. Really well played first half.
No question. I mean, you saw Snowden really come out first. There was just a 0 on the board
everything
for
was just
Crusaders.
go to Jones.
I think it was a 6-0 start, actually, for Jones. But then that big 11-0 run that ended the first quarter and started the second quarter for Fenwick was huge.
Well, and I think we'll see the same thing in the second half. I think right now at halftime, both coaches want to talk about the offense, because the defense, I think, is fine. But offense, the unforced turnovers are killers.
No question. We saw a lot of air-milled passes, really from both teams, too, there in the first half. So we'll see if they can clean it up here at halftime. They got the state tournament jitters worked out a little bit here in the first half. The head coach of the Snowden Cougars, Paul Rogers, is with our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky. Seth?
Joined by Snowden coach Paul Rogers. Coach, you went down 17-11 after taking out your big man, and then you got back into the game in large part because of William Samuels being aggressive, which was kind of your message. What have you seen out of Samuels? Because when he's able to play like that, it kind of opens up everyone else on the floor.
Like, Will's like a Swiss Jack Army knife. Like, he literally can do it all, and we rely on him a lot. Like I told you yesterday when we spoke, whatever it takes, you know what I mean? And Will do whatever it takes to win a game, so he just took it upon himself to take over and demonstrate leadership that he displays.
They were able to open you guys up a little bit by passing the ball around, hit a couple threes, were able to find the player on the baseline. What do you need to do defensively to just limit them a little bit more, tighten it up?
We need to move on the flight of the ball. We didn't really do a good job. We did a lot of standing and looking, and it's too late. Fenwick's a very good coach team. They're a great shooting team, so we need to be there on the catch.
Finally, Javi Ellis, really talented player, but clearly he's struggling with his confidence a little bit right now. What's the message to him at halftime?
Just be you. Be yourself. I think he's putting too much pressure on himself. It's a big moment. A lot of these kids probably had butterflies, couldn't sleep last night. They're a little off all day, all excited for this game, waiting for it to happen. He just needs to play his game and be himself.
Coach, thanks so much for your time. Good luck in the second half. Guys, take it away.
Thanks very much, Seth. And Coach Rogers sort of mentioned, like, some of these guys, you know, even though Snowden made the tournament last year, some of them are younger guys that maybe didn't start, maybe didn't get a ton of time last year, so they're still trying to figure out how the state tournament works and how to feel, you know, at the start of a game like this.
We both talked about jitters, and it happens to all teams. A little more so with younger teams, but it's good to see the coach sort of calm. I think he's happy with, like I said, the defensive end of the floor.
Sure.
Although he mentioned that sometimes they were just standing around when Fenwick got some open shots. But offense, they have like 4 air balls, 3 from that left corner. So as you said, tell Javi, just be himself. Javi's he's long, he can get to the basket. I mean, even when Jones is in the game, Jones will slide to a side and let Javi drive to the basket. So he just has to sort of calm down, like you said, get rid of those jitters, take some deep breaths.
That's right. Shake it off.
Just play your game. Meanwhile, for Fenwick, I mean, I think they're feeling a little better about themselves. Right. Like you mentioned, because of the end of the first quarter when they were able to take that lead, they were able to get some shots. They've missed some shots that I'm sure during the season are sort of their bread and butter.
That's
right. You know, baseline cuts, some weak side cuts, some picks, and then a little action on the elbow. So we'll see if they can get Pignoni going, because for a kid who's a high scorer, you expect him to get more shot attempts.
That's right. We'll see if he can pick it up here in the second half as Fenwick was able to climb back into it. 1-point lead here for Snowden. At the break, we're going to head to break, and when we come back, we'll have the halftime stats and some highlights, and then we'll start the third quarter here from Madison Park High School in Roxbury right after these words. Don't go away.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation. We can.
Get someone a cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates. Our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can. Intervene.
It's on us. All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game.
You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet. Oh,
Welcome back to Madison Park High School in Roxbury. We're at the half here at the Boys North Division 4. First round of the sectionals, and Snowden's got a 1-point lead over Bishop Fenwick. We're going to take a look at our halftime stats here, and first up, it's going to be the Fenwick Crusaders.
Here's Fenwick. Pignoni has 8 points, but we thought he'd have a lot more than that. Andrews with 5. He had rebounds, 5 for Andrews, 5 for Ramos, and then assists. Not as many as you expect from the Fenwick with all the passing they do. Ramos with 2 and Loescher with just 1. There's the Snowden. Jones, like you said, had that good start to the game. 11 points. Samuels with 9, mostly on those drives, right to left. Rebounds, Jones had 13 rebounds, double-double already for him in the first half. Ellis had 6 rebounds. Kaplan, 3 assists, and Samuels with a couple of assists of his own. So I think that even though it's been a close game all the way with a couple of runs from each team, both coaches know that there's players who've not done what they're capable of doing. From the Snowden side, Harvey definitely can do a lot more. That's why Paul Rogers told Seth.
That's right.
He's going to tell Harvey, just be yourself. But then Pignoni, okay, he's used to being in double digits each half.
That's right.
And so there's a point where I'm sure the coach will say, listen, let's set some picks, keep setting them until we get him some wide open shots. And so for this second half, you can look for those two guys, Pignoni for Fenwick and Harvey Ellis for Snowden, to pick up their scoring. The game itself may be a much higher scoring half, because 23 and 22, neither team is used to being that low in the first half.
That's right. One player who did pick it up and played very well in the first half is Ty Jones. We got some halftime highlights of him.
And the big fella, using all of that 6'8", you see the offensive rebound and put back. Nice seal. Good little drop step there. I like his nice soft hands. Saved his teammate there on the assist as he was able to snatch it away from the defense. Again, you see Samuels leading inside to Jones. Then on the fast break where Jones follows Samuels and was able to get that nice easy putback, or lay-in rather, as Samuels, who had just made 2 drives on the exact same move, saw his big fella, gave it to him, and got the easy 2 points.
Yeah, like you mentioned before, 2 in the first half as well. The Coach Rogers got to be happy that the big fella's not in foul trouble at all either.
Oh, he can play all out now. He can definitely, as long as he doesn't get in foul trouble early in the third quarter, that's exactly what you want, because you definitely want him down the stretch in the fourth quarter.
Just about ready to start the third quarter here at Madison Park High School. Snowden Cougars 23, Bishop Fenwick 22. The winner of this game will move on to the second round, play Kip Academy.
Yeah, Kip has a bye. Yeah, they're off. Probably, I'm sure, coach or.
Oh yeah, I saw some coaches
There you
get
go.
academy
Right.
here.
Want to see both of these teams. Same 2-3 zone in the half-court set for Bishop Fenwick. Nice
Runner
drive.
off from Kaba off the window.
Yeah, you see it, hear him call backboard? That was, I think he wanted that to be a floater, but
that's right.
They all count.
First basket of the game for Kaba. Andrews whistled for the travel.
Yeah, it's too bad because he had a nice move. I'm not sure why he slid that foot to get that travel violation.
Looked like he didn't quite have possession there, but travel was the call.
You were seeing Fenwick do a much better job whenever Jones goes down to the baseline.
Cut by Ellis was good, but finish wasn't.
I think he got himself a little too far under the hoop.
Stewart fires another three. That one, nothing but nylon.
What's that? Second one of his. He had one in the first half, too.
Ties it up at 25.
Reading the notes, you can see why coaching staff for Fenwick is happy to have Stewart back.
Samuels buries another jumper.
That was just a good athletic play there because he was surrounded. Made that shot between two defenders who had good position.
Stewart, that time, unable to hit the three. That's off of Fenwick, gonna go back to Snowden.
Yeah, both Samuels and Jones now with 11 points each for Snowden and White. Good patience. They're waiting for Jones to get down to the box. There it is.
Pass is tapped away that time by Fenwick. It'll stay with Snowden. 5 seconds left on the shot clock for the Cougars.
Gonzalez cutting.
Ellis got a fire and once again misses the three, and they call another foul inside. That's on Andrews.
Andrews trying for the block. Yeah, the shot was forced up by Ellis. Knew the shot clock was winding down, but he just sort of threw it up there. And the offensive rebound by Samuels, able to draw the foul.
Samuels now 1 for 3 from the free throw line. Substitution as Loescher comes back in for Bishop Fenwick. Ross takes a seat. One out of two for Samuels. Back to a 3-point lead for Snowden.
Run a little bit of a weave. It's going to be a pushing foul on Snowden.
Yeah, Pignoni got bumped as he was turning the corner.
Is that Kaplan?
Take a look here. I
Right
think it was
there.
Kaplan right there.
Little push. Yeah, Snowden switching up now. They're going straight man to man.
Pignoni fires another three off the back iron. Try to feed it inside to Jones. Here comes Romans.
Interesting change for Snowden defensively, but it's been effective so far.
Pignoni on the drive, couldn't get it to go, but he's going to get two from the free throw line.
Sort of jump back into Jones, which is a good idea. Watch him, little jump back into him, and there's the actually got hit by two players. See if a couple of free throws can get his shooting stroke back to him.
Good from the first. Ortiz now coming back in as Kaplan heads to the bench.
They're going to put a little more length defensively on Pignoni.
Pignoni 2 for 2 from the stripe. Fenwick now 6 for 8 from the free throw line tonight. Back to a 1-point lead for Snowden. Under 5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Good swing for the Cougars. That one off the back rim from Samuels.
Okay, good box out that time by Andrews.
Stewart off the up fake inside to Andrews for the bucket.
Nice finish.
Fenwick regains the lead.
I'll tell you, Stewart made that entire play. He hit a 3 earlier, so that time he gave him the up fake. His drive opened up Andrews for the easy lay-in.
Ellis looking inside for Jones. Pass was deflected. Pignoni. We're going to go baseline now over to Andrews. Step back jumper is short. And Romans and Andrews went after the ball at the same time.
2 Fenwick players knocked it away from each other.
And there was nobody on that side.
That was an easy layup. Yeah. Definitely had Snowden out of position because of that first shot.
Samuels off the crossover. Can't get that one to go. Jones gets stuffed inside.
Actually, the bottom of the backboard blocked it, as well as the players from Fenwick. Watch it again. See, Jones just got stuck underneath the hoop. Didn't realize he was all the way under. And it wasn't Andrews, it was the other big fella. Loescher.
Andrews on the drive. Now back to Pignoni. Seven seconds left on the shot clock. Andrews. Stewart, good swing to Romans, who buries the 3 for Bishop Fenwick. Extends their lead to 4.
I tell you, Stewart has been a real facilitator so far in this second half. He has 3 assists plus that 1 long 3-point jump shot.
Javi Ellis again no good from 3. Kaba no good on the floater.
Yeah, we're seeing Snowden get a little out of sync.
Romans, the freshman, making the mistake, and Pignoni tried to call a timeout, but he didn't quite, I think, have possession.
He was on his way. He had possession,
and he's on his way out of bounds.
They changed that rule a while ago.
I remember NBA players used to fall
exactly
out of
right.
bounds, do it all the time.
Make that C signal. Yeah, I think Paul Rogers for Snowden is really unhappy with their offense. He's watching again now. You see Pignoni, it looks like he has it, but yeah, he's falling out of bounds, so you don't get that call. But again, like I think that, like I was mentioning, Rogers has to be unhappy with his offense. They're not being as patient as they were in the first half, getting the ball into Jones, or having Samuels be patient from the wing and have that drive to the basket. None of that's happening this half. We're seeing a couple of air balls. Unfortunately, Jones was stuck under the hoop on the baseline. He couldn't help that. But their offense just isn't nearly as smooth as it was in the first half. Well, for Fenwick, they've got to be happy. They made some adjustments. They're a little more aggressive. They're staying there 2-3, but they're a little more aggressive, and they pick their spots when they're going to double someone either in the corner or on the sideline. So there's a little bit of trickery in the defense for Fenwick.
And even though Pignoni hasn't been able to knock down any threes, some of his teammates have picked it up.
Exactly. See, and Stewart has been the facilitator. Stewart has 3 assists here in the third quarter, plus he has that big corner 3-point shot.
That's right. Stone with just 5 points so far in the third quarter. Samuels on the drive, and he's going to get 2 from the strike.
Yeah, it looks like Loescher. Body contact. Let's see, 33. Looks like 33 slides over. A little from behind. Yeah, got him in the leg. Yeah, Snowden's 6 for 12 on the free throw line.
Samuels hits that one. Substitution. Ross comes back in as Loescher heads to the bench.
Almost like relief for the Snowden bench that saw that one go down.
Samuels 2 for 2 that time. He's now 4 for 6 from the free throw line.
The first time they've been 2 for 2. Little full court pressure now by Snowden.
Andrews. Ortiz now going to bring it up for Snowden.
Gotta wait for Jones to get himself set. There you go.
Big fella.
Oh,
couldn't finish inside.
Too much spin on that one. I think he was more open than he realized because he put a little spin, a little English on it on the backboard and didn't need to.
Substitution for Fenwick. Coming back in is Gonzalez.
Stewart gets a break.
Heads to the bench.
I don't think he'll be out too long because he's been a key player, especially in the offensive end.
Coach Moran didn't even let him sit down on a chair. He's like, sit at the table, you're going back in.
Take some deep breaths while you're right here.
Right.
The travel there is too bad. He had the step. Again, just didn't put the ball down early enough. Like you said, Pat, Stewart's right back in.
Stewart right back in.
3 seconds? 3 seconds. 3-second break. Yeah.
Maybe 2 breaths in the water.
Yeah. If that. Good game, though. 2-point game. What's the biggest lead been? 6 the whole game? Yeah. First state tournament competition.
Ball's knocked out of bounds. That'll stay with Snowden.
It just seems like the Fenwick kids, for some reason, they were just in better position defensively. A lot of slap balls, some block shots. These defensive switches.
Instead of just doubling Jones each time he gets the ball, they're trying to deny Jones entirely.
And that's the key. They have they front and back him. They have a guard coming down. They have Stewart in there.
That's going to be a shot clock violation on Snowden.
I think all the Snowden kids fell asleep in terms of someone looking at the shot clock. Someone's got to look and yell out. We talked about going deep into the benches. Now we're seeing Fenwick team, a lot of offense-defense substitutions.
Yeah, they really have a 4-guard lineup in there right now.
Right. Yep.
Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Pignoni off the cut. Can't finish the layup. Rebound by Jones.
Won't get a better shot than that one.
Samuels up to Ortiz, who can't finish. Cabo with the rebound. Inside to Jones. He gets the basket and the foul.
That was just his size. That was a nice job by Cabo to get the ball to him, but once he got it, there's right there. Once he got it, gets hit, follows through with a little bank shot.
Jones now the chance to give Snowden the lead here with 39 seconds left in the third quarter.
Another look from our center court camera.
He cannot hit the free throw. So tied up at 32 here late in the third quarter. Gonzalez with the runner. Andrews gets it poked away by Samuels. Up to Ortiz, who finishes off the window.
Nice finish. Yeah, Fenwick was very upset taking the timeout because they wanted a foul on their last shot. Yeah, they're trying to yell at all 3 officials, not just one. Yes, it is. It's a block. Could have been some contact there. Nice finish, though. Gonzalez used that length of his to see. You see, coach for Fenwick. He's trying to steer them all down.
Well, he knows what it takes to win a state championship. Won it when he was the head coach at St. Mary's back in 2012. And right now his Bishop Fenwick team is down by 2 here with 19 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Meanwhile, Paul Rogers and the Snowden Cougars have regained the lead here late in the third quarter.
It's been a rough road, but you have to like the fact that they're very patient. They're not forcing the ball into Ty Jones, a big fella, like they were in that second quarter. Doing a better job being patient. Other players, you see Gonzalez get away on the fast break. You're seeing Samuels try to drive to the hoop and dish when he has a chance. He made a jumper. He made 2 free throws. So it's I'm not sure if this is the way that Snowden expected to come back in the game, but it was very effective.
Gonzalez inside to Andrews.
As Andrews is getting double teamed in there.
And Gonzalez trying to take it back away, but that's going to go back to Snowden.
That time, Andrews had been getting free on the baseline, but that time, for some reason, Snowden either saw him or he's decided to double whoever's on the baseline.
4 seconds left in the quarter. Samuels unable to hit. Putback no good. So after 3 here at Madison Park, it's the Snowden Cougars on top of the Bishop Fenwick Crusaders, 34-32 here in the boys North Division 4 first round. Folks, we'll be right back with the fourth quarter here on Game of the Week. Do not go away.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to Madison Park High School in Roxbury for Game of the Week. We got the boys North Division 4 first round of the MIAA state tournament. Right now the Snowden Cougars lead the Bishop Fenwick Crusaders 34-32. Folks, you want to follow us on social media, you can go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. If you want to tweet at us, use hashtag BostonGOW. Ty Jones getting fouled inside to start the fourth quarter. He's going to get a couple of free throws for the Snowden Cougars.
Tell you, one of the first times this half that Jones got a clean entry pass. Oh, down the stretch. Fourth quarter, anybody's game, because like I said before, both teams are doing pretty much what they want to do. It's who can do the small things, who can rebound, and obviously who can make free throws.
Jones 0 for 2 that time.
One short and one long. Break it to the field, up court. No.
Stewart over to Gonzalez. Buries it.
He likes that wing. He hit one in the first half. I'm trying to in the third quarter.
I'm sorry, he
likes that wing.
That was Romans with that three, right. Not Gonzalez. Gives Fenwick a 1-point lead. Lob pass inside to Jones. They swing it to Ortiz. Nothing but nylon for Carlos Ortiz.
Again, because they went down to double on Jones, Ortiz got the wide open look for 3.
Back to a 2-point lead for Snowden. Stewart unable to connect from long distance.
Good job by Andrews to keep that alive.
That was a fight for the loose ball. We're going to have a jump ball that I think it's going to go back to Snowden. No, it stays with Fenwick.
They had it at the half. Snowden had it at the half.
That's right.
So. Yeah, both teams just doing a better job getting open shots for their shooters. Didn't see much of that in the first half, but the second half's been a lot better. Nice shot again. Wow,
Romans on the pull-up, and he gets the foul.
I think he's a little deceiving with quickness. Watch this, little quick job, move there on Gonzalez. There's a slap on the arm. Nice fall for you to get the basket.
Jason Romans, just a freshman. He's now got 8 points. He had a great coming out party here at Fenwick. He had 19 points, 8 rebounds and 6 assists in their opening night this season. So the future is very bright at the guard spot for the Fenwick Crusaders with him there.
The stroke he has, you're absolutely right.
Javi Ortiz that time. Excuse me, Javi Ellis
He's got to be
knocking it
happy
down.
now. He's got to be happy he finally makes one.
Ties it up, or excuse me, 2-point lead for Snowden. Andrews sees some daylight.
Nice drive.
He's going to get 2 from the stripe.
That was a smart play by Andrews because he knew the big fella couldn't stay with him step for step. And so instead, he just waited for the bump to happen. Watch, see, the bump's going to happen right there. He actually would have been happy if he could have got a real shot off, but he'll take the free throws and the foul on Jones.
Andrews knocks down the first. Now 4 for 5 is one miss. He actually had a lane violation.
He made it, but the lane violation, right.
So you see the foul from Jones.
But that showed you what I was saying, the smart play on Andrews. Andrews knew that Jones couldn't stay with him step for step.
Andrews misses the second. 1 point lead for Snowden. Jones going against a double team. Can't hit that shot. Put back no good from Kaba. Andrews comes away with it. Romans backdoor to Stewart. Reverse lay-in good.
He tried that same play in the first half. He spun it too much on the backboard. That time, up and under. Good play. Gives his team a 1-point lead.
Back and forth we go here at the Matadome. Inside to Jones. Ortiz off the up fake. Can't hit the runner. Gets his own rebound, and he's going to get 2 more.
Those long arms helped him on that play because he missed the first one. Washington, he's going to miss this little runner, but keep his hands up. Gets that and gets the follow-up shot. Ooh. There you go. Ortiz. Well, he's only a sophomore, but they all know free throws in this fourth quarter are going to be huge.
9 for 19 now are the Snowden Cougars at the free throw line. Tied up at 40. Stewart going to call for steps as he did sort of a skip on his way to the basket.
Before he put it down. I thought he was going to pull up for the jumper. He likes that deep wing.
Tees inside to Jones. He goes to work. Andrews comes down with the rebound for Fenwick. And a foul out of the wing on Samuels.
Samuels tried for a steal, reaching in. Now the difference this half, Pat, remember, in the first half, Jones sat down for about a 6-7 minute stretch. Hasn't sat down this half yet.
Yeah, he hasn't sat at all.
So you got to wonder if fatigue or if his wind is going to become a factor.
Ross can't hit the elbow jumper.
Another rebound for Jones.
20 boards now for the big fella.
And a lot of an offensive.
Inside Jones off the up fake. Gets blocked inside.
Yeah, I think that was a fatigue play for him because he usually gets some kind of rise.
Stewart buries one. 3-point lead for Fenwick.
See, that's the one I thought he was going to put it up the last time down. He had the exact same play on the opposite side. I thought he was just going to pump it up.
Ellis off the up fake.
Blocked by Andrews.
Andrews now has 6 blocks tonight for the Bishop Fenwick Crusaders.
4 minutes to go. 3-point lead for Crusaders in black.
Romans over to Andrews. Long 2 is short. Ellis with the rebound. Quickly out to Kaba. who finishes the layup.
Good pass by Ellis. Yeah, good pass by Ellis to leave Cobbler for the layup.
1 point lead for Snowden, and Romans gets fouled from behind by Ellis as he went for the steal.
Now I feel so bad for Ellis. He's had a tough offensive night.
Right.
So he's trying to make things happen other ways. He had a beautiful pass for that last layup, but this one, okay, that's the layup for Cobbler. But right after this, as Pignoni's going down court, you have Ellis coming from behind and trying to get that poke steal, and they've been calling this game pretty close all night. So that's any kind of contact on that's going to be a foul. Now you're seeing the big fella get a little bit of a break. Can't be too long, but maybe a minute or so. We got 3.5 to go.
Try to force it into Lotion.
Let's see if it was kicked. Yeah. Well, I'll go stay with
Fenwick.
Yep.
Pignoni going to reset here for the Crusaders. Pignoni short on the jumper. And Kaplan back in now for Snowden. Gets it up to Samuels. Ball pinballed around. It's Samuels who gathers it. They're going to call an offensive foul on Samuels.
Play control foul on Samuels. A little bit of a shoulder push there. Let's see if we can see it. Watch Samuels gets the rebound. On the move. Good call. Travel, actually. Yeah, a little push off that left arm. Yep. Left arm and elbow. Good call.
One-point lead for Fenwick coming out on 3 minutes left to go in regulation. Pignoni on the drive, and he was fouled inside. Now they're calling an offensive foul on Pignoni.
Calling for a wraparound. Actually, he didn't have to do it because he had a defender beat on the step.
Yeah, he had the corner. Andrews back in for Fenwick.
And the big fella Jones back in. No surprise for Snowden. They got to swing the ball a little quick if they want to get inside. That Fenwick defense is sliding really well. It's like they're all on an elastic. Kaba.
Couldn't get it to go off the back rim. Stewart couldn't hang on to it. And that's going to stay with Snowden.
Yeah, see.
It's tough to see if it was either Stewart or Kaplan who knocked it out of bounds.
Stewart actually dove for it. You see it here. See, watch Stewart dive. Once he dives right here, unless it was off of him before, because
I think it was. I think it went off of Stewart before Kaplan touched it. It was already out of bounds. Right. We got a timeout here. 2:34 left to go in the fourth quarter. Yeah, 1 point lead for Bishop Fenwick, and this is what the state tournament's all about.
Both
baby.
teams need this timeout. They got to catch their breath, catch their composure. I mean, you have an inbounds on the baseline for Snowden.
And now for an update on this game, we're going to go to our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky. Seth, what's happening?
Thanks, guys. 1 point game with 2:34 to go. Let's take a look at how these teams have done in close games. Bishop Fenwick has been very good. 4-0 this year in games that have been decided by 3 points or fewer, including a couple of overtime wins. On the opposite side, Snowden hasn't played as many games. They're 2-1 in games decided by 5 points. That one loss came by 1 point. So Bishop Fenwick might have a little bit more experience in these types of games. They've been very good in close games this year. Guys?
Thanks very much, Seth. Fenwick
Great
with
stats.
a couple of
Great stats. And you talked about that 1 point loss earlier for Snowden.
Against Boston English.
Missed a bunch of free throws.
Fenwick's played in a couple of overtime games this season. Kaplan on the drive, short with the layup. Jones can't finish it once again, but he will get 2 more free throws.
A little bit of a rush on that one, but not a good play out of the timeout is they got a nice clean drive on the baseline, then gives Jones a chance. Gets hit right there.
Jones was 0 for 2 in his last trip. Knocks down the first. Just the second season playing varsity basketball for Ty Jones. Goes to Day and Evening Academy.
And you know he wants to be able to take his team to at least the next round. Like we said, the winner of this faces who's the Kip Academy.
Loescher,
second seed in the entire
bracket. Right. Loescher fouled out. So Fenwick loses a good amount of height.
And he
Loescher
had better rebounders, right? Exactly.
It's not something you want to lose against this very big Snowden team.
Well, tie score, 2:29 to go.
Jones gives his team a 1-point lead.
Full court pressure by Snowden. Open shot.
Ross corner three, doesn't go for him. Pignoni comes away with a rebound.
Right again.
Romans for three, off the back rim. Ellis can't hang on to it. That's going to stay with Bishop Fenwick.
You got to like the way Fenwick's running their offense. Point you made during the timeout, Pat. The experience, slight experience edge in close games for Fenwick. We're seeing that come out. Two excellent wide open shots. Stewart can go on that.
Stewart for three, off the back rim. Pignoni tried to get the rebound. It's Jones up to Samuels. Can't put it home. Put back no good from Jones. Ellis then recovers it for Snowden. And we get a foul at the top of the key.
Yeah, a lot of contact under there. Ellis is trying to get the ball into the lane. Looks like Ross.
Yeah, Ross fell hard.
Yeah. Just watch it again. You see Ross going after the ball, a little push right there. Not sure if for some reason this looks like his right leg. Talk about both teams going all out. We're talking about minute 38 to go, 1-point game.
Yeah, you certainly feel each possession here late in this game. You know it's a state tournament because we had just a couple of minutes to go here. You know, there's certainly a lot of time left, and each possession feels like it's so important.
Exactly, each one. And like I said, that last possession by Fenwick had two wide open shots. Look like his right leg is in really bad shape.
I think he rolled his ankle.
Yeah. Being carried off by a couple of his teammates.
So you lose Loescher by fouling out. Now you lose Ross, a little bit more size, to an injury.
And one of your seniors, too.
Yeah, he rolled his ankle.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody who's played basketball, we've all done it.
As soon as it happens, it feels so bad.
It feels like somebody stabs you in the ankle. That thing's going to swell up like a volleyball tomorrow.
Right. It's like your ankle's saying to you, what are you doing to me out here?
You know I can't do these type of things.
Okay, so Ellis will be at the free. Yeah, both teams are in bonus, so Ellis will be shooting 1-1.
So right now Fenwick going with that smaller lineup of
the quickness,
Stewart, Pignoni,
right.
Gonzalez, and Romans, 4-guard lineup.
The only real size out there is Andrews, and he's been holding his own. He's a senior, so he's been out there blocking shots, rebounding, boxing out, doing a really good job.
Ellis shooting 1-1 now for Snowden, who's got a 1-point lead, 1:38 left to go. Did not hit the first, but Samuels comes away with the offensive rebound. And Coach Rogers wants to take a timeout.
Like you said, every possession, very important. I mean, it'd be crazy if it does come down to free throws. I mean, because Snowden's already hurt themselves throughout the game up until this point. But, you know, being up one, you need a defensive stop and try to turn something good over on offense. But that, I tell you, that Fenwick team has done much better than their half-court set this fourth quarter. They're getting the shots they want. I mean, you got to make them or miss them, but as long as they're wide open shots, that's all coach wants. You know, the coaches will tell you, well, don't worry about whether it goes in or not. Just take your regular shot, and as long as it's open. You know, the one thing he doesn't want to see any challenge shots. I mean, unless you know you're drawing a foul, there's no reason to be shooting over the defense.
As we mentioned, the Snowden Cougars coming into this one as the higher seed. I believe they're the 7th seed in this bracket, and I think Fenwick is the 10th seed.
7-10, yep.
The winner will play Kip Academy in the second round in a couple of days. Both teams with a lot on their hands right now. Snowden with a 1-point lead.
Sweaty palms, huh? Obviously, Snowden wants to go inside to Jones if they can get it there. But you have Andrews, the biggest kid out there, and there's a steal by Pignoni. Yeah.
Heck of a steal by the senior. Pignoni on the drive. Lays it down to Romans. 1-point lead for Fenwick.
Less than a minute to go.
Snowden needs a good possession. Kaplan back to Samuels. Gets it to go for the Cougars.
Tough shot on the baseline, Pat, against a good defense.
William Samuels. Romans gets it poked away by Kaba. It goes out of bounds. Fenwick will have it. 24 seconds left on the shot clock. 31 on the game clock.
He was covered so well, Pat. We couldn't even see him from our vantage point because defense had him swallowed up.
Again, 16 points now for William Samuels as he gives his team a 1-point lead. There were 31 seconds left to play. They try to feed it inside to Pignoni. It's knocked out of bounds by Snowden. They're going to call a foul.
Oh, okay.
They call a foul on the Snowden Cougars. That's going to be 1-1 for Pignoni.
Each team having a chance at the free throw line.
Huge. Ties it up at 46. Senior captain now the chance to give his team a 1-point lead. And he does. Just his 4th point of the second half, but it's a 1-point lead for Fenwick. And Coach Rogers takes a timeout. 27 seconds
actually
left to go.
Game clock, and shot clock are the exact same. 27.
So Snowden will play for the final possession here in the Boys North Division 4 first round, and what a first round game it's been. We've had a seesaw of leads all throughout.
Well, the first half's a little different. We saw some runs. This second half has been much closer the entire way. Free throws, and just like we thought, Pat, we thought it was going to be a major key. Snowden still stuck at 50% shooting free throws. Meanwhile, Fenwick doing much better with their free throws. 2 big ones right there give them the 1-point lead.
You got to think for Snowden right now, especially with that size not in there for Fenwick. They got to lob it into the big guy.
I think that's your first choice. Your second choice is probably going to be Samuels or something, either driving to the basket or a little pull-up mid-range shot. Matter of fact, they might even go to the mid-range shot and just have Jones try to get in there for the offensive rebound. But that's 50% free throws. That hurts a killer.
Meanwhile, Fenwick shooting 75% tonight. Samuels gonna have the ball here late in the shot clock. 10 seconds left to go. Samuels working against Pignoni. Tough jumper, can't get it. Rebound to Pignoni, and he's fouled by Snowden.
Well, I really thought the Samuels might get the shot. That's a little farther out than. But he waited. It's a tough call. Do you run the entire clock out, which basically they have? It's down to 1.4 seconds. But I'm not surprised at that. I really thought that having Jones in there for an offensive rebounds, it was a good bet.
Yeah, I thought if they were not going to put it into Jones, that they would have Samuels or someone else take a shot earlier in the clock.
But give Fenwick credit. What they did, they brought the extra defender over to Samuel's side, so he had to shoot over 3 people.
Pignoni makes the first. Now the age-old question. 2-point lead for Fenwick.
Do you foul?
do you miss the free throw?
In this case, I think I would, because that 1.4 is nothing. He's trying to make it.
He made it. Clutch free throws from the senior captain, Nick Pignoni, here for Bishop Fenwick. Gives them a 3-point lead with 1.4 seconds left on the clock.
I mean, we've been talking about Samuels. Snowden going 50% the whole game, and you get your senior captain going 4 for 4 in this last minute to give his team a 3-point lead.
Yeah, absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. The reason I asked about missing that free throw, too, a couple of years ago, it was an East Boston Madison Park game. Same situation. Madison Park was up by 2. A Cardinal was at the free throw line. Coach Wilson admitted he told his player to miss the free throw. He missed it. A kid from East Boston grabbed the rebound, hurled it 3/4 court to win the game. And somebody caught it on their cell phone or something. You see Coach Wilson in the background just like, that's on me.
Couldn't believe it. Yeah. And you see it sometimes in college it happens that way too. Now there is a chance for a catch and shoot.
That's right. Snowden trying for it. Samuels and Bishop Fenwick with the early round upset on the road over Snowden. They defeat the Cougars 49-46 here at Madison Park. Boy, what a game we had here to open up the tournament.
Well, like you said, you don't usually see this high quality in the first round.
That's right.
Coming into the game, you saw, like we said, a 12-6 team, a 12-8 team. Pretty even though they're sort of strangers to each other. Sure. They know they're both in the fourth, in Division 4, and that if you start the season, okay, these are the group of guys who we might be seeing, and this is like you said, well-played game. Very few mistakes down the end, and it did come down to free throw shooting.
That's right.
It's
as these games in the tournament often do.
Right. I mean, it's tough to say, but we talked about Snowden's free throw problems during the season, and unfortunately, it really bit them tonight because they had plenty of chances at the free throw line. When you go 50%, they end up, I think, 11 for 22. That's just tough, especially when your opponent is shooting 75% and the 4 big ones in a row.
That's right.
In the waning seconds. So rebounds and free throws, coaches always say, they give them nightmares. Are we going to make them? Are we going to get them?
That's right.
That's tonight, Snowden on the short ends.
No question, as the Snowden Cougars are defeated by the Bishop Fenwick Crusaders. Here are the boys' North Division 4 first-round matchup. Folks, we're going to end the break. When we come back, we'll have our final stats along with our MVP and game-winning coach right after these words. Don't go away.
Foster safety. Foster hope. Foster joy. Foster curiosity. Foster support. Become a foster parent, because every parent makes a difference. Foster, Massachusetts.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
First time I tried biking, and it was laying around my mom's house.
And I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do it like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that. You just did the same.
Gotta get the boys.
Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. Let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Welcome back to Madison Park High School in Roxbury. At the conclusion of Game of the Week, the Bishop Fenwick Crusaders defeat the Snowden Cougars 49-46. And what a heck of a game to start off the state tournament here in 2019. Yeah. This is actually day one of the tournament across the board. And both these teams, as we mentioned, kind of even coming in, 2 completely different teams. You got one team very big, one team that's sort of guard heavy. And, you know, there's a couple of players that really had great games tonight for Bishop Fenwick. You saw Romans, just a freshman, making a lot of big plays shots towards the end. You talked about Stewart, how good he played all around tonight for
rebounding.
Fenwick.
He was facilitated in that run they had in the third quarter.
That's right.
And made those 3-point shots.
That's right.
And then a couple of the seniors played well, too.
That's right. And then Andrews played really well rebounding the basketball. But Pignoni, the senior captain, when it came to crunch time, he made those 4 free throws at the end of the game. That was the difference.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
In this game, he was phenomenal tonight. He's our MVP tonight, and he is with our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky. Seth, take it away.
Joined by Nick Pignoni and Kevin Moran of Bishop Fenwick. Nick, you're the senior leader on this team. You took a little bit of a blow to the mouth. You were bleeding. I don't think you came out for more than 10 seconds in this game. What was this experience like? You're a senior on this team, you're a leader, and you finally get a chance to play in the state tournament, and you had a huge final minute.
I don't know. We worked for this all year. It's pretty tough on me, but he's prepared me for this. We work on the free throws all the time at practice, and he puts me in the position to succeed, and I was lucky to execute tonight.
You guys lost 1 starter, 5 fouls. Another starter goes down with an ankle, 2.5 to go. You're on the road, and the final minute you seem to make every play. You had the steal, you had a big rebound, you hit a couple of free throws. What's going through your mind during that final minute with so much on the line?
I don't know, just he tells me senior leadership, got to take over the game there. It's my time. It's our team needs me, and I stepped up, and luckily I was able to execute and hit some free throws at the end.
5-0 in games that have been decided by 3 points or less. How much did that help you today in a game that literally went down to that final possession?
A ton. We play in a tough league, and we hit a couple shots in the late minutes of some regular season games, and it shows us that we're battle-tested. We bend but don't break.
Congratulations on a great game. Fix that lip. Coach, you went down to essentially the 5 guys that you had used without those 2 starters in that final minute. What was kind of your message? Obviously, having that senior leadership helps, but you had a couple younger guys out there, and you were able to stay calm.
Yeah, well, I think, I got a lot of gray hair, so I think I can stay calm a little bit from the experience. But however, with the senior leadership of Nick and Jay-Sean had an unbelievable game today. And then the third guy that had probably his career game was our big fella today, 44. Nate Andrews was terrific. He scored 14 points, 5 or 6 blocks. So he really stepped up today. So those 3 guys, with some young guys sprinkled in there, but those 3 guys were terrific. Then we got the freshman coming down, handling the ball. Jason Romans, he pulls up, hits a huge jumper over here. So the combination just seemed to work tonight, and I think the chemistry worked. Some days it works and some days it doesn't, but tonight I think the chemistry of the 5 of them worked pretty good.
You guys took an early blow. I think it was 4-0, 6-0, and then you settled in. You took the lead, and you never let them really stretch it out. You've been here a lot before, some of your assistants, but what were you saying, or especially early on in that game when it did get a little bit stretched, to kind of keep the team calm? Because you were very calm, and you also were just preaching confidence in your group.
Yeah, and I mean, especially looking at this team physically, they're unbelievable. Snowdens, they got the big guy inside, they got the shooter on the perimeter. So what we try to do is try to help on the big guy. You're not going to cover him one-on-one, and then so we try to collapse on him a little bit from the zone perspective, keep an eye on number 4, and then naturally 34 hit us a couple times. So it's pick your poison, and that's what we said. Let's just maintain. Let's maintain and compete. If we maintain and compete, I think we'll be all right.
You get the 2 seed next, Kipp Academy. Head back to Lynn. You're very familiar with that area. What's the biggest thing you guys are going to focus on heading into that game?
Well, I think Kipp is very much like this team tonight. They're extremely athletic. They might not be as big, but they are just as athletic. They're a very, very good team. So over the next couple of days, we got to clean a few things up, defend the quick players and the athletic players, and try to see how that goes.
Coach, it was a pleasure to watch you guys for the first time this season, and good luck going forward in the tournament. Guys, take it away.
Thank you.
Seth, thanks very much, and certainly senior leadership was big tonight for Bishop Fenwick. We saw that down the stretch. We're going to take a look at the final stats here from Madison Park High School, and first up, folks, is going to be the Snowden Cougars.
Yeah, it was Snowden. Samuel's big game, 16 points, and also from guard position. Then the big fella inside, Jones, had 15 rebounds. Jones with 23 rebounds. A lot of those offensive rebounds, and some of those were actually putbacks. Ellis didn't have much of an offensive game, but he did have 10 rebounds. The assists, Samuels had 5 assists, and Kaplan with 4 assists for Snowden.
Let's take a look at Bishop Fenwick's final
Bishop
stats.
Fenwick, the EC Pignoni with the 14 points. Stewart added 13. Talk about rebounding. Andrews, that's who the coach was talking about, with 9 rebounds. Romans, the young kid, had 6 rebounds and assists. You have Pignoni with 6 and Stewart with 4 assists. So, across the board, that Fenwick team, they had versatile players who could do a number of different things. Like you mentioned, a lot in the second half. They went with 4 guards, basically 4 guards and the one big fella, Andrews. So coaches always know their teams better than anybody else. So even though it seemed like a strange move against such a big team, it worked because the players played it well. They all boxed out. They all rebounded. No one tried to sneak away until they had possession of the ball. That was key. Then, of course, down the stretch, it all came down to free throws.
Yeah, very impressive win tonight here for Bishop Fenwick. Meanwhile, for Snowden, certainly a tough way to lose at the end of the season. And plus the big guy, Ty Jones, that was his last game at Snowden. He's getting a lot of local D3 colleges looking at him, so somebody's going to get a gem of a player next season.
With that size and those good hands of his. And that was from the beginning of the game. That was the part that impressed me. Keeps the ball up high, knows how to little drop step. And like you said, gets to the college, they'll give him that big notebook of working out over the summer.
That's right.
And
nutrition.
he'll be a different player come September. So good luck to him.
Yeah, and I hope everybody tries to follow him wherever he goes next season. Folks, thank you very much for joining this game tonight. If you want to watch again, you can go to our website, www.cityofboston.gov/game of the week. All the games from this season are up on that site. You can also follow us on social media on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Game of the Week Boston. We're going to be posting this game. We've got a lot of other games up there as well. We also post stuff on Twitter, so follow us there at Boston City TV. If you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. You're also going to follow those social media sites to see which games we're going to be covering over the next couple of weeks, as a lot of Boston City teams are in the state tournament this year. But for right now, we're going to say so long from Madison Park High School. We'll see you next time on Game of the Week, everybody. Take care.